man. Love the outfits. How can I help you?
We're here to make a withdrawal.
And cut.
It's been a rom-com for about 2.5 weeks, and then the other day it became an action movie.
Assistant manager!
I think it's Nate's first real bruise in the movie. This is nothing compared to what winds up happening to me. Yeah, nothing compared to what's to come. But yeah, I had like a little coffee burn and a little bruise, and that's about it. And then it's about to get really fucked up.
It is not often that you get a makeup-driven script. It's very rare that you actually get a script that is completely driven by the makeup and the effects, you know, by the prosthetics. So it's an incredible opportunity.
The prosthetic stuff is some of our favorite stuff to actually go and shoot. You can feel everybody cringing when you're pulling a fingernail off or, you know, digging a bullet out, whatever it is.
Hey, there we go.
And you know you're gonna do something fun when Clinton shows up on set and this mad scientist walks in, there's dried fake blood all over his hands. You just know that he's cooking something up.
When you look at all the different phases this character goes through, for somebody who's not used to it, will find it quite gruesome. We've got stuff on his hands, all the glass that was in there. We've got his pride hand, we've got an arrow through his leg, nails being pulled out, and then some basic trauma on the face.
All right, whatever, fuck it.
Working with Dan and Bobby, what I enjoyed was them wanting to do a lot of in-camera gags, especially today. I mean, a lot of the times people would say, oh yeah, well, let's just VFX it. So yeah, it's amazing.
We always strive to do things practically as much as we can and not rely on VFX. It tends to, in our opinion, just look a little bit more authentic when there's actually something tangible there to touch and perform against. So this movie is obviously very prosthetics heavy. There's so much violence and gore and wounds and bone breaks and all this wild stuff.
Dan and Bobby are just a dream to work for. They're creative, they know what they want, they're very happy to work with you, you know, you can throw ideas backwards and forwards.
And allowing you to have some form of freedom in terms of coming up with some suggestions and how you would like to sell the gag. So that's very important.
Unbelievable. We do a lot to Nathan in this movie, but I think my favorite gag out of all the things that we do to Nathan, and our prosthetics team is like top of the line. Clinton and the rest of the prosthetics team do such a good job. I'd say it's his fried hand, his deep fried hand. It's just so unique and so gross.
From the moment he sticks that hand in the deep fryer, his hand is fried for the rest of the movie. So when it comes to shooting that, he's got this absolutely disgusting glove that he has to wear all the time, and he's just got this, you know, this crispy little, you know, burnt hot dog hand that he's just walking around with all day.
Went through a lot of versions too, because it didn't look quite like tempura enough for a while, but we got that right, so.
There were a lot of moments where there was some other thing in the script, and we'd realize, oh wait, he has to hold that with the deep fried hand, doesn't he? You know, or like, oh, this insert with the cell phone is 10 times as disgusting as we thought it was going to be because his crispy little fingers are wrapped around it.
The prosthetics are quite involved in this film. The most challenging thing for me has been time. I've been working 7-day weeks, like with 3 hours sleep a day, because a lot of the things we're doing is so technical. There's a lot of moving parts.
It's not just going on a set and dressing blood. It's like the prep process is massive and has all of this sort of technology behind it, and, you know, breaking, in this case, Nate's journey into the 52 different steps of physical degradation and having a plan for each and every one of those.
Nate's character goes through a lot of trauma. We've got 8 big phases, and in those phases we deal with body hits and facial trauma. The facial trauma has got about 5 key stages, and the body, there's anything from 10 to 12 main key gags.
it's a lot of prep work that goes into it, and now in practice, it's been really incredible seeing all of those things that were just digital renderings come into life. And you know, it's a lot of time in the chair for Jack in the morning each day.
Putting all these prosthetics and rigs on Jack has been a process, and that relationship with your actor, making him feel comfortable, that's where that relationship starts to build and build and build for what's to come. And if that is not a nice ecosystem, it will be a very, very long, uncomfortable shooting day.
At times we have up to 4 people working on him at the same time. You know, one person's doing the hair, one person's doing the hand, one person's doing something else.
So that's basically on me to find a happy place to go to while a bunch of hands are on me.
I can't even imagine what you're gonna do with that.
We were shooting the extraction of nails, and for us who feel pain every day, I don't think we can actually relate what that is. And if you see somebody pulling your nail out, I mean, some of the crew were just cringing.
Fuck you! Way home! Wow, wow, that hurt. That one hurt the most.
When we had the knife having to go into his hand, using 3D printing helped us a lot to line it up, print the base plate and also print the knife, super lightweight. So when he moves or rotates his hand, it looks straight, because that's quite a difficult thing to do.
It was a funny thing, like in these sort of prep meetings, particularly the like wound and kill meetings and stuff, where we go through all the things that are happening to Nate. You just realize how many little things we're doing to his hands and how challenging that becomes, where it's like, okay, it's burning the hand, but then he wraps that up, but then his fingernails have to be pulled off, so I guess we'll pull those off that hand, but then later he breaks a thumb, so okay, we'll do that on the bandaged hand.
Punching
yeah,
glass.
and punching the glass, so there's gonna be wounds there. And like, you know, just ultimately in the third act, trying to figure out, like, could he conceivably hold a weapon at this point, or is he just like, you know, totally destroyed? But we've navigated our way through it, but it wasn't easy.
Yeah, we wanted to beat him up just enough to believe at the end of the movie that he would be alive.
Yeah, just barely.
Right up to that line.
Yeah.
For the scene where Nate breaks his arm, so we have 2 beads, and the one is where the arm gets snapped and this entire bone protrudes. What makes that challenging is because you need something that's durable and resettable, and then we basically need to hide the actor's actual arm. So thanks to VFX, we'll have his arm coming out on this side, and we're replicating his entire hand with some basic mechanisms on the inside and using magnets to dislocate and to lock it back into. And then where the trick comes in is a retractable bone. So when he hits this little bone onto Simon's chin here, we have another dental plate rig in Simon's mouth that's sprung loaded. So when he opens his mouth, we could see a bit of the bone. That's quite intense. Using that bone to end Simon's life.
This has been a complete collaboration between me and Clinton. I don't think there's any way we could have done it without the other one, because of the makeup part of it, which is the tattoos and the whole process of creating the characters, and then this entire journey that the characters go on. I mean, this prosthetic journey, this falling apart journey till the end. So it's a very much a collaboration between the 2 of us, where the one takes over and the next one starts, and it's a whole dance.
There's a lot of different artists involved, whether it's hair, makeup, prosthetics. Everybody can shuffle and get in there to help bring the time down or just to solve a problem. And so it's like a whole collaboration. How it is on set, it's also like that in the behind the scenes, where people are endlessly like working like little elves to bring all of this together for a split second on a screen.